Alright, so in this video, we're going to take a look at some video and channel analytics to see if there's anywhere that needs improvement and how specifically to improve on that. So while you definitely should be looking at your overall metrics such as the amount of views, your engagement, or the amount of leads you got out of these videos, it's important to keep in mind that those statistics, especially like the amount of leads, don't just come out of thin air. There's definitely a process that people go through to get to that point of contacting you, and you need to troubleshoot if anything's going wrong to make sure each step of the process is going smoothly. So that's what these specific analytics are for. And first, you would want to go to your Creator Studio, obviously, which would be if you're on the YouTube homepage, you would go up to your account, and then it would be the Creator Studio button here. It will take you to your dashboard, and what you can do from here is either look at your overall analytics, which are useful to look at, and also each video's specific analytics. So every time you upload a video, you want to come back to it, a few days, a few weeks later, and then even a few months later if you want to see how it's doing then, and just see how those videos are doing. So if you go to your content, you can click on this analytics button next to any one of your videos and be taken to the stats for each video. Now, I don't have any public videos on this channel, so I don't have really any detailed stats here, but I can go ahead and show you, some screenshots of what this would look like. And the first thing we want to be looking at is this audio retention section, our audience retention section. And you would find this at the overview section of your video analytics. This basically tells you how long people stayed through your video, which is a very important metric because the longer people watch, the more watch time you get on your videos, the more YouTube knows that it's a good, interesting video that it wants to promote. And you're also more likely to get actions, more people to see that ending call to action for them to actually contact you. So the audience retention section is pretty long and it has a few elements. So one of them will be something like this, where it should give you a graph of audience retention, and it will have the average view duration or the average percentage viewed. So the average percentage viewed is essentially the percentage that each viewer watched on average. So in this screenshot, this is a little low. We're aiming for about 30% or more, but this would be the average percentage that of the video that someone watched through. So people on average watched through 22% of this video, of this 13-minute video. Ideally, again, like I said, you want it at 30% plus, but it can vary, and the longer your video is, on average, the less this will be, the average percentage views. So if you have like a 2-minute video, you should expect this to be pretty high, where if you have a 30-minute video, it will probably be lower than this. And then another thing you can analyze within the audience retention is your spikes and dips within the video. So if you scroll down a bit, you'll be taken to this section where it says your key moments for audience retention. And there's actually a spike, and there's another button here that's not shown in this screenshot, but it will say dips. So you can look where is it the most steady, where are people watching the most, and where are the most people dropping off. So those are your spikes and your dips. So here in the spike section, you can see that it's above the typical retention rate. There are a good amount of people watching this section and not dropping off because typically it's just a smooth decline. But at this section, it's not really declining at all that much, and that would be your spike. And you can look maybe what went well at that part of the video, what was interesting that's making people stay there. It won't always make complete sense. Sometimes there's just random places where people decide to not click off, but other times you'll be able to get some insights from that. Same thing with your dips. You want to look at where people are dropping off the most and see if you can improve at that specific section. And not only will there be maybe something you said or something in the video that's not interesting that'll make people click off, but also, put some headphones on, like take a closer look, make sure there's no actual audio or video issues, because this has been a thing that's happened to a lot of people in the past, where there'll be some audio glitch that you can only hear with like headphones on, and then it drives people away from the video. So make sure that's not happening if you have a dip there. Next would be your traffic source type. So if we go back, audience retention would be an overview, but if you go to reach, it has a lot more analytics here. So you can see your traffic source types first and foremost. So where is your traffic to the video actually coming from? And it'll look something like this, where it'll give a list of different types of traffic sources. So it can come from your YouTube search, so just people searching for it through certain keywords. It can come externally, so people linking to your video or you linking to your video from other websites, from suggestive videos. So if you go onto watch a YouTube video, on the side it will suggest different videos for you. Browse features, so that's anything like the YouTube homepage or anything where they're just browsing YouTube. Then channel pages, so if they click onto your channel and watch that, and then all the other sources down here. Now make sure this external is not that high. You don't really want to be relying on external sources to fuel your YouTube growth. Ideally, you would be growing organically on YouTube and getting the YouTube algorithm to promote you more and more so that you get like an organic actual audience within YouTube of people who are naturally finding you, and it's not kind of artificially promoted outside of the platform. So make sure this external is not too high. I would, if I was this person, I would try to get more organic growth on YouTube. But yeah, that's for external growth. Next would be our impressions and how they led to watch time. So it's also known as the impressions click-through rate, and it tells you how many people saw your video and clicked through it. So, for example, if your video shows up on someone's homepage or in their suggestions or anywhere that they would see it on their page, what percentage of those people actually clicked through and watched the video? So as you can imagine on YouTube, there's all kinds of different videos, and they could choose yours, they could choose someone else's, they can click off of YouTube. So how many, as a percentage of those people who were on the YouTube homepage or wherever they were seeing this impression, clicked through and watched your video? So if we go, it will look something like this. It will give you different data. So it'll tell you the amount of impressions, and the more impressions, the better, the more people who are seeing your video. And then I'll also tell you the impression, the click-through rate. This is a pretty good click-through rate in this screenshot. You'd want to get it up to, 6-7% at the minimum, and try to get it up there, maybe up to 10-11%. You can even go higher than that, but you don't need to get it quite this high. But ideally, like a 7% click-through rate, but this can get lower under certain circumstances. So for example, if you have a lot of impressions, if you have like hundreds of thousands or millions of impressions, like one of your videos just blows up, then it's going to be shown to a lot of people who might not be that familiar with you, or new people who aren't that familiar with your topic, and so the click-through rate might be a bit lower. So just keep that in mind. But for an average video, say on your channel, you want to be keeping it around this range. The thing you would need to troubleshoot if this wasn't high enough would be your thumbnail. So what's gonna, like your thumbnail right here, when people see it in the YouTube algorithm, is it attractive enough to click on? And if this was too low over a period of time, you might try to swap out the thumbnail and see what was wrong, to try to get people to click on that again. Okay, so next would be our traffic source from the YouTube search. So this is basically what keywords were people searching for that led them onto your video. So out of the people who came from this YouTube search, which is often one of the greatest traffic source types, out of those people who were searching for it, what were they searching for that got to your videos? And this is super important, as we've talked about in the keyword research, because that's a super major way that people find your videos. So you can look here, and this is a kind of old screenshot, but this is one of the best I can find of. It looks just something like this. We'll have a list of keywords that people could be searching for, and this one is completely random, but it will probably be related to whatever industry you're in, whatever keywords you targeted. And one thing you could see, you might even see keywords you don't expect. So if you see a similar keyword or something similar to a keyword you used in your video, but not something you specifically used, then that might be a good idea to jot down and note to target that keyword in specific videos. Or if it's a similar topic that people are stumbling onto your video from, then you might want to make a video about that topic in the future, because a lot of people are clearly searching for that. And then it will just have a list of keywords right here, and you can click, or right here, and you can click see more and get even more detailed stats there. Alright, so that is most of your video analytics. You can even look at your engagement, see if you're getting those likes, your comments, and everything you've been promoting in the video, and your audience. So, but that's the bulk of it. Those are some pretty important stats. So I hope this was valuable, and see you next time.